Right, my name's Ben and this is my 1972 Ford Cougar XR7 luxury version. I just bought this thing for about $2,000 from a dude who knows a dude, and we think we got a pretty good deal on it. It's had some major issues. It runs all right, there were brakes, all the good stuff. Most of the lights work, but there was a massive, horrible clunking noise going on somewhere under the engine. It sounded like knocking, but it was a bit too irregular. So we brought it in here, we tore it apart, we got underneath it, we pulled an inspection plate on the torque converter and found that one nut was missing, one nut was fully backed off, and two nuts were finger tight. So we actually pulled the starter motor off, found the extra nut, torqued them all back on with Loctite, and runs sweet as a nut, except that now the ignition is falling apart. So let's go and do a quick run through of this baby. Okay, so first to note is registered and on the road, which is exciting. Not inspected yet, we've got to do that, but our current task is to get air shocks installed so that these big stupid wheels will actually not rub, because you can see they're kind of destroying these lovely rotted Mickey Thompsons I've got on here. Taylor is up front, he's doing the ignition on this thing. It ran actually really nicely, but we found that it's starting to break apart, and what he's discovering up there is that as he's removing the spark plug leads, they're just pulling out of the caps and leaving the cap on the plug in the engine bay, which is exciting. Anyway, a bit more about the car. It's got 351 Cleveland in it. Looks like it's kind of been pulled apart and messed with. The gearbox has been painted. I have no idea what gearbox is in it. And there's twin exhausts and a bunch of extra stuff that some previous owner has done. So we are not sure if it's got a cam. It might be hopped up, we don't know. We managed to limp it over here. It ran pretty good, and we've done some sort of, to the floor testing. It's got a two barrel carb on it, so we need to get a 4 on there to wake this thing up a little bit. But as of now, the task is to get this thing running well enough to get it back to my house, which is about 40 miles away in Seekonk, Massachusetts. Taylor has volunteered to drive the thing. I'm going to be following in my Hyundai Veloster, which he hates.
Well, I mean, it is dog shit.
After we get the air shocks on, we're not going to run the Mickey Thompsons. We're actually going to put these bastards back on. And these are some nice 12-year-old, somewhat dry rotted tyres. So
12-year-old?
I think they're 10. I think it was an 11.
No. I got 2004.
2000. Okay.
On both of them.
Well, in that case, I think the fronts are probably a lot better.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, what year were the fronts?
I have no idea. I think those were 11. Oh, either way, it's not going to be pretty. My task right now is to get the air shocks put in, and in order to do that, we found out that we got to take the interior out to get to the top of the shock tower. So in here, I've just taken the back seat out and just removed a whole mass of mouse nest. The little guy, in fact, when we first opened the trunk, was sitting there staring at me. He's probably not in here anymore. He's inhabiting Taylor's shop, which is nice. And there's a cardboard panel down here which I've got to pull up. We don't have a shop vac, so I'm just going to scrape all this crap out of here, hopefully not get hantavirus in the process, and we'll show you the results. Yep. Bye-bye, silly goofy tack. Won't be needing you anymore. Yeah.
Gold night backdrop, white flashlights. Rain doesn't care. The lights in the air.
I'm trying to fix the windscreen washer, and yeah. That's normal. So this is the delightfully named rim blow horn. Okay, so let's just take a little walkthrough of my lemons rig for the 24 Hours of Lemons retreat from Moscow Rally. We've done a little bit of work on it. I've repaired a whole bunch of rust holes and just gone through the trans and the engine and replaced the oil and the ignition system and all that stuff. And then we decided to mount some KC fog lights on it. Don't let your friends mount your fog lights, because first of all you have no say where they go and you have no say about how they're mounted. What else? Well, packed for the rally, so I've got all my clothes and that kind of stuff. I've also got just about everything you can possibly imagine. I've got brake clean, ATF, extra oil, coolants, that's good, more ATF, torque wrench of course, more coolants. Screen wash for a jerry can, I've got to fill that still. That's an extra water pump, it's nice making a good noise. Jack of course, and for oil change, and a little toolkit from Harbour Freight. And that down there is my carefully protected blinker system for the sequential blinkers on this 72 Cougar. That'll be fun. That's really about it. We've got some extra shocks in there for when my air shocks blow, which I'm sure they will. And we've got my mascot up on the dash for the Ford Feline team theme, and of course the fluffy dice. Got our CB radio, which we mounted last night, along with a ball joint, which we found was one pothole away from spreading suspension parts all over the road. So that was nice, about 6 o'clock last night. Tried to grease that up this morning, didn't want to take grease, that's fine. Fire extinguisher, obviously essential in a car like this. Oh, the list. Oh, the list. Fix Monica. Right. and then my electrical kit, my carb rebuild kit, my sleeping bag because I'm going to need that. So, will we make it? No idea, not a clue. Everything will be fine. I'm sure it's going to be great. Yeah, 4.5 hours to Scranton, Pennsylvania. Woo! Next. So I'm sitting here in my Mercury Cougar, re-evaluating my life decisions. So we're about to set off on the Lemons Rally. It's Scranton, Pennsylvania to Hagerstown, Maryland. There we go. To Richmond, Virginia, to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, to Road Atlanta Raceway in Atlanta, Georgia. About to go and get gas. It's 4.5 hours to Scranton, which is where we start, for the Retreat from Moscow rally, which is ostensibly from Moscow, Pennsylvania to Paris, Tennessee, to commemorate Napoleon's disastrous retreat across Europe during the winter in which he lost most of his army. So yeah. So I'm slightly concerned that I filled this car up about 130 miles ago and I just put 13 gallons in it. 13 gallons? This may not go well.
Try to walk inside the cracks between these lies, with dust and stones and sense of shame.
Sitrep. We're in New York. 200 miles down, about 90 miles to go. Not doing too badly. Did a quick health check. We have oil. It's present. We have transmission fluid. That's present too. So yeah. Good morning from the 24 Hours of Lemons Retreat from Moscow rally. It's happening. We're on. Oh, it's great. There's so many cars here. It's awesome. So there's no fluid under the car, which means most of the fluid should still be in the car. I've got my signage sheet. I've got my mascot. He's sitting up on the dash. Got my CB radio. I've got Rick Sanchez riding shotgun with me on the window over there. My fairy dice are in the mirror. There's 40 other cars on this rally with us today. And they're all fantastic. Well, some of them are a bit shit, but well, they're garbage. They're all garbage. But it's going to be good.
Professor! What's there to smile about all this competitor?
Just to give you guys an idea of what it's like driving this thing, it's yeah, it's windy.
Are you out of your mind? Are you really so surprised? Could you not stop and see clear as day?
So I think the moral of this story is don't follow the Cougar.
On broken glass and spinning wheels, I roll it over, just don't feel a thing.
That was really out of the way and probably.
So we're wending our way through the hills of Pennsylvania right now, slightly heading west from Scranton. We're on our way to Williamsport, which I'm excited about. And unfortunately our people have developed a little bit of a lift to tip.
But in between, take the blows till it bleeds. Save your soul for your porcelain dream. On broken glass and spinning wheels.
So we're just leaving a town called Williamsburg, Pennsylvania, which I'm weirdly excited to visit because I've always wanted to go there. The reason I've always wanted to go there, and my airline friends may understand this, is because I've probably spent hours, if not days, circling over this town, looking down on it while on a delay, waiting to land in Newark. And I've always wanted to come here and see what it's like. And so we did, and we had lunch here at a cool little diner, had a really good corned beef sandwich. It's a really sort of weird town with an interesting paper making history, I guess. So we took some photographs there. And now we're on our way to find out where the second Declaration of Independence occurred. Yeah, they didn't know about that. Good morning. It's day 2. This morning we're in Hagerstown, Maryland. We're going to Richmond, Virginia via most of West Virginia, as far as I can tell, including a low water toll bridge, which may or may not have low water. I'm not sure. That's $1.50 to cross. Got a little bit of a death rattle on the car. I'm kind of hoping that somebody's going to be able to diagnose this thing for me because I'm more familiar with the British kind of death rattle. We've got some competitors here, including this diesel Peugeot, which the only post I've seen from them was right at the start of the rally, and they were at O'Reilly's Auto Parts, I think. So yeah, that wasn't good. And then we got a couple more over there. It's about 7:15 in the morning right now. I've got some work to do on the car, just to find out what the rattle is, and also find out why there's a clunk in my suspension. Gee, I wonder what that could be. Failing that, hopefully we'll make it to Virginia. Where are the cup holders, Ford? Where are the cup holders?
Follow down the footsteps, they're gonna lead you someplace real nice. Just listening for directions to come blowing through the grass. You got time to notice little things and the smaller things. everything seems fine. But in the meantime, why don't you say what you need and how you feeling? Why don't you say what you need and how you feeling?
Might have ignored a sign that said, stop, don't come up here, no turnaround, dead end, your GPS is wrong. Did we pay attention to it? Did we? Right now they're up there trying to do a 3-point turn in a Lincoln Continental. I took the safer option and just decided to reverse back down here instead.
You got a pretty good perception to see the pleasure that it brings. We don't know
Woohoo!
what's around the corner. Everything seems fine, but in the meantime, why don't you say what you mean and how you feeling? Why don't you say what you mean and how you feeling?
So this is Port, West Virginia, and now on to Old Town.
Cover up footprints that didn't lead you someplace real nice. Just watch out for tomorrow. It comes blowing through the grass.
So when Massachusetts inspects and then passes your vehicle, don't believe them. Yeah, that's torn to shreds. You can see the inside of the ball joint. Good morning, it's day 3. This time it's Myrtle Beach. We're in Richmond, Virginia right now, actually Colonial Heights, which is a little far south. My lift tick is getting worse. I replaced the ball joint in the parking lot last night, which was a good time because everyone came out to say hi and chat and bring me beer and tell me I was an idiot for working in the cold. Started the car up this morning and the lifter tick could be heard in the next county. I'm surprised it didn't fire a rod out of the valve cover. But the lifter pumped up after about 15 minutes and the tick went away. So it's good, right? It's...
A few moments later.
We're good. I think my engine has fur balls. It's really quiet here. We just crossed into North Carolina a couple of miles ago, and it could not be more different than the Virginias. It's absolutely broad flat out here, completely, like straight lines, no corners, lots of open fields, and worst of all, never mind the gas, there's no coughing. Good morning. It's day 4, final day of the Lemons Rally. This time it's from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, over to the Road Atlanta racetrack in Brazelton, Georgia, which is near Atlanta. And right now you get the distinct impression that the wheels are about to come off this thing. Yeah, it's a few issues. Lifter tick is my constant companion. It doesn't really want to idle in gear, which is kind of a problem when you're sort of, you know, stop and go traffic through town. Possible related issue, the starter kind of has trouble turning the engine over when you turn the key. It could be a couple of things. It could be that the starter's failing, which is fine. It could also be that the engine is sort of grabbing the crank lovingly and trying to prevent it from turning, which is not fine. My engine gauges are painting a rosy story of the health of this car, which kind of leads me to believe they might be towing porkies. I had a dream about a snake in a bull pit last night. Now, I'm not quite sure what my brain's getting at here, but I suspect it's a Jackass reference. What I think they mean is that right now, the car is the bull pit, and I am elbow deep in it, rather like Peter Duncan in a tree trunk. I'm just waiting to lose some fingers. It's going to be a good day.
Took a little time to wake myself up, see through all your lies. I raise a little smile at all the love you said was in my eyes. I've been here for a while, and though your fragile heart may be surprised, ain't seen a better day than the one on which I realized I don't need you. Got so easy, say the words I had to say.
This is incredible.
They are bare buttons.
For me to walk away into another day. Throw your heart away. Don't see how they walk all over you. The one you think sustains, he lies with her more than he lies to you. I used to see the sun, but now the clouds obscure my point of view. Forget the only one, 'cause I don't recognize what I once knew. I don't need you.
I'm glad those are working.
Easy to say the words I had to say. Now I don't owe you. So much easier for me to walk away into another day.
2,000 miles. And that billboard up there is the end of the rally. And we've been sitting here for 45 minutes. you're just lemons.
Plymouth Valley. So, I don't know if you ran into them. Those weirdos stayed in character the whole time, no matter how annoyed you were. They just stayed in character. Oh my god. Alright, so the random acts of stupidity. We had to give an award to one of the Peugeots. And then they went and got tattoos. And I thought that was weird, but then I remembered that I have a Lemons Rally tattoo too. So it's not that weird. So the Holy Cow, that's permanent award goes to the French Dispatch of their 1986 505 Peugeot. So now we're going to go to points by winners. You probably already know because you hopefully know how to use Google Sheets by now. I still don't.
So that was the 24 Hours of Lemons 2021 Retreat from Moscow Rally. I visited the village of Lemon. I visited the town of Browntown. I saw a button museum. I missed the replica lighthouse, but I did go to a lighthouse. A bunch of weird cars. Drove 2,200 miles plus the 1,000 miles or so that we're doing back again. Did twisty back roads, stood on a hang glider launch pad, and a whole bunch of other weird small esoteric checkpoints. Giant Nutcracker, James Madison's Montpelier, or at least a dilapidated SO station next to it. There was a man made out of ductwork, the world's largest peanut. I don't think it was the world's largest peanut, but it was a very large peanut. A Studebaker on a laundrette, a man on a horse. There was a rock hidden behind a bush where something happened. There was a town corner where nothing happened. A dead college mascot, lots and lots and lots of gas stations, Russians in a Mustang, and 2 Peugeots that refused to die. I met some amazing, generous, super nice people who I may still need to call on for help. We'll see. I've got to say, I would not be afraid of doing this solo again. If you like driving by yourself, it's fun to have a teammate, but it's equally fun to do it alone. The only thing I'd say is bring something that you're reasonably comfortable working on, or that you're reasonably comfortable will make it there and back. Having that peace of mind is definitely important. Did a bit of work on mine, a few slightly scary things. I'm still not home yet, but it did pretty good. And I felt like, you know, there's nothing really that's going to absolutely kill me. One or two things maybe, but so far so good. People will help you. I had loads and loads of offers of help, and if, you know, this happens or that happens, we'll come turn around, come and get you. And worst comes to worst, as people were pointing out to me, get a U-Haul and a trailer, drag it home. It's just not that big of a deal, and someone's always there to help. I would get a CB radio, even if you don't use it too often. The times that you do, it's really, really useful, particularly if you're trying to convoy with people. And make friends. It doesn't matter if you don't know the directions, you just clamp onto the back of somebody who does, or you find a team who will happy for you to follow along. It's a competition, but no one really cares. You have the people who go for the points, and then you have people like me who are just happy to make it. Stick around for the race. These things always end at a race, and it's a sight to behold. Walk the pits, meet people, look at the stupid cars, and when they start the race, just watch them all barrel towards the first corner, wondering if anyone's going to make it. We actually had somebody spin out as they were leaving the pits on the parade lap. So, you know, that's genius. There's black flags, there's crazy penalties. There's teams walking around the pits apologising for their bad driving, and if they're really bad, they get slammed neck to the roof with a loudspeaker and driven around the pits. My I'm so glad I did this. I had such a great time. I'm really hoping I see some of these folks again next year. No idea what I'm going to bring. I'm thinking about like a ratty old Stingray Corvette or something like that, but I might bring back the Cougar if I still have it. I was planning on selling this car when I got back or trading it or something. I don't want to keep it now. It runs great. It needs a cam and a lot of work. But yeah, why not? I didn't like it when I started. Now I kind of love it. It's the most comfortable thing that I own, without a doubt. So yeah, next year, do some research on this rally. Pick a car. It doesn't have to be stupid. It doesn't even have to be old. You just pick a car and do it. It's $425 to enter. And then hotel rooms, gas. If you want to sleep in the car, that's fine. If you want to bring a tent, pitch by the side of the road, that's also fine. They don't care. There are no rules. About 900 miles home. I'm staying the hell away from Washington, D.C. I'm staying the hell away from New York City. We're taking the newly constructed Tappan Zee Bridge. I've been across that a gazillion times and it's awesome. I've already passed like 3 or 4 hotels that I know I've stayed at in my airline career. So I get to see all these places that I've seen from the air and from the window of the Best Western, but now I'm on the run. Hopefully I'll be talking to you from my driveway at about 12 o'clock tonight.
Take a day of your life and make it shine, make it shine. Wake clouds from your eyes, let them fly. Let them fly. Say whatever you say till your time, till your time.
In the morning. I didn't make it all the way back in one go. Taking a few sleep stops and a whole bunch of rest stops and some lunch and dinner stops. Stop after stop after stop. And that's how you turn a 15-hour drive into a 24-hour drive. I've got 2 hours left. I'll be home. I'm glad I took my day off. I'm going to sleep all day.
Tell you
So it's about 6:45 in the morning, pretty much exactly 24 hours since I woke up to start the drive home. And yeah, there's been a lot of stopping, a lot of sleeping. The one thing I learned with years of commuting to and from Newark, New Jersey from here is that if I start feeling drowsy, it's time to pull off and sleep. So it definitely extends the journey a bit, but it was a 16-hour drive more or less. And this thing just cruised, no issues. Yeah, it's throwing oil out of the timing chain, or I think maybe the front bearing or the front seal, I don't know. It's hitting the pulley on the front of the crank and slinging it all over the front of the engine. I use maybe 3 quarts, it's not too bad. Lots of gas, lots of gas. Still getting about 20 miles to the gallon though, I think. So now I'm going to go inside, collapse onto my bed, and probably wake up tomorrow morning late for work. What a week.